The Honorable Santia Bradshaw, Minister of Education, Parliamentary Secretary Dr. Romel Springer, Chairman of the Innotech Group of Companies, Mr. Anthony De Silva, CEO of the Innotech Group of Companies, Mr. Martin De Silva, other members of staff from Innotech, Ms. Joanne Haig, and members of the Haig Communications, members from the Ministry of Education, members of the media, good afternoon. We're here again at the Ministry of Education to receive, yet again, another donation from a worthy private citizen of Barbados. Minister, we have 1,000 face shields, 5 laptops, 40 Chromebooks, 60 medical grade non-contact thermometers, and 1,000 face shields. The face shields especially will be used from tomorrow because we have identified that the invigilators for the Barbados Secondary School examination tomorrow, these persons will all be issued with face shields, and then we will have, because these are teachers, they will have those face shields for when we open in September. So I want to invite Mr. Anthony De Silva to bring us a few words and to talk about this donation on behalf of Innotech. Mr. De Silva?
Thank you. Minister of Education, Technological and Vocational Training, the Honorable Santia Bradshaw, Permanent Secretary, Chief Education Officer, Mrs. Joy Adamson, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I stand here today not only as the chairman of the Innotech Group of Companies, but also as a very proud Barbadian. As our nation continues to adjust to the evolving new norm in a COVID-19 environment, the Innotech Group of Companies would first like to acknowledge the government's dedication and commitment to keeping the people, and particularly the children, safe and protected during this period. When the news of the first 2 COVID cases was announced in Barbados, our company anticipated that the country would have to close at some point, if only to flatten the curve and assess the situation. As business owners, we were concerned about the future of our company and its ability to provide for its employees. But we feared most for the children and for the impacts that it would have on them. As a father, I can personally testify to how worried I was about the well-being, health, and safety of our children when I first heard about the scale of this pandemic. I was equally anxious about the future of their education. These feelings were shared by our staff, many of whom are also parents. There can be no doubt that the wider public were also overwhelmed by what we were facing and are still facing as a country. However, I believe we can take comfort in the demonstrated leadership, hard work, and dedication of our Prime Minister, Mia Amor-Motley, and that of her ministers. For me, one such minister stood out as she took on the task of acting Prime Minister for a short period a few months ago. This was when the government announced the Google G Suite Tech Drive for education and rolled out immediately the need to switch to emergency remote learning. Minister, we wish to commend you on your vision and timely implementation of this policy initiative and this project. Therefore, it gives me great pleasure on behalf of the Innotech Group of Companies to present to the Ministry of Education, Technological and Vocational Training this donation of 40 Chromebook laptop computers, 1,000 protective face shields, a thermographic camera and scanner for mass screening, and 60-number medical-grade infrared non-contact thermometers, all valued at about 75,000 Barbados dollars. Minister, our donation represents the Innotech Group's commitment to supporting the educational efforts in Barbados, as well as the health and safety of our nation's children. We hope to continue to support the Ministry of Education and the children of Barbados. And so please know that we're only one phone call away. In closing, Minister, we'd like to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us this afternoon. And rest assured that this is only the beginning of our commitment to the Ministry of Education, Technological and Vocational Training. In closing, I'd like to wish, on behalf of all of the members and staff of the Innotech Group, all of the students who will be taking the 11+ examination tomorrow, all the very best, and hope it goes without any problems whatsoever. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Good afternoon, everyone. Martin, Anthony. Let me first of all say a special thank you to both of you, to the entire Innotech group of companies. The Ministry of Education could not do this without the assistance of corporate entities like yourself, rising to the challenge to be able to assist us to meet the very dire need of a number of our students across the educational system. The donation today is timely, given that we have some examinations pending, and it is also timely because we are continuing to ensure that in the event that there's a second wave for COVID-19, that this ministry is as prepared as it can be to ensure that children are not left behind as a result of not having a device that is accessible to them. So today, you know, we've been doing this quite a bit in terms of the last couple of weeks, accepting donations. We've been working very hard in the ministry to ensure that the devices have been configured, that we get the devices to the students who need them the most at this point in time as we configure and we make sure that they get to the various parents to pass over to the children. That process is still continuing, but it will continue so long as the good efforts of a number of our corporate entities across Barbados continue to recognize that the work has really only just begun. I will continue to say we could never have planned for COVID-19, but without the assistance of the people who have stepped up to the plate to answer the call from the Ministry of Education, we are a bit closer to where we need to be. This is in small measure a testimony, I believe, to the passion that Barbadians have about helping each other. We saw recently Rihanna would have donated through her foundation to be able to assist also the ministry. We've seen embassies come forward. We've seen individuals come forward. The Innotech group of companies has now joined that long list of persons and individuals who have risen to the challenge and have really shown what it is to be a proud Barbadian. And for that, this ministry continues to be eternally grateful. And on behalf of the students who I know are excited about getting these devices and being able to access the technology, and for the teachers as well, who I know want to make sure that all of their students are able to access technology so that they can continue to learn, I want to say again a heartfelt thank you to all of you for the contribution you're making. One of the devices in particular that I am quite excited about is the, was it a thermostat? Thermographic device which can test the temperature of persons from quite a fair distance. I am minded that the Samuel Jackman Prescott Institute of Technology is perhaps befitting of a donation of this kind, particularly because they're using the handheld devices, but I do feel that something like this, particularly with the amount of traffic coming into the institution, that they will certainly be the beneficiaries of this type of donation that we have here today. So we're very excited about that, and we really thank you, and I hope you can see it in motion at the school in due course, but we really do appreciate the contribution that you have made. The Chromebooks that you have donated as well, people may not realize different devices are being used for different sets of students. At the primary level, we've recommended a different type of device, but the Chromebook really is compatible with our Open EMIS, is compatible with the G Suite for Education platform. It is compatible for students at the secondary level getting ready to do the testing. And so as we move towards equipping our students with the right tools, the donation of the Chromebooks really is timely. but it also has given our students an additional advantage at this point in time as they prepare for exams as well. So again, I want to thank you on behalf of the Ministry of Education, on behalf of the parents, the teachers, and our students as well, for your generous donation. And as you said, we can expect, I'm sure, assistance coming from you in the future. And we really want to treat you as a partner to the Ministry of Education, because without the corporate entities assisting us, we cannot achieve all of the objectives of this ministry. So again, thank you.
This is a thermographic imaging device. It has a thermal monitoring and an optical monitor. So it can detect the temperature of an individual who's approaching the device for as much as 20 feet away. It also can isolate the background temperatures. So as it is set right now, you can see the background temperature is isolated, while the P1 temperature, which is the person temperature that is monitoring, is recorded. The device is capable of hooking up to a Wi-Fi system, so no one has to stand and monitor the temperatures. Those temperatures will be fed back to a computer by the Wi-Fi system, and you can read, capture, video, snapshot anyone. If a temperature exceeds the threshold that is programmed into the device, an alarm will be sent back to the monitor, and the person will know, because it's an imaging device, who has approached the campus.
And it can take a picture as well.
And it takes a picture.
Yeah.
It formulates on a real-time view. So you can be monitoring 24 hours a day, 7 days a week with this device. And all is backed up to the computer, so the memory on the device is not utilized. So the monitor or the monitoring system you have set up via Wi-Fi would be what is storing the information. See you one time here?
You're getting normal. Yeah.